Well, I mean, there are hundreds of translations of the Iliad, and it's one of the proofs of the enduring quality of it, that people feel impelled to translate it every generation. I mean, going from Pope, who turned it into an English 18th century poem full of 18th century ideas of decency and proper behaviour, and cutting out some of the more unpleasant things, like some of the wounds and the fighting. Right through to the present time, when you could represent it by two poles. I mean, at one extreme you got someone who says, this is a cracking good story, and I'll take out all the things which seem to distance it and make it different, and the things which give it its kind of heroic tinge, and therefore take out things like epithets and repetitions and so forth. And then there's another pole which says this is a marvellous poem, and I will help the poetry along. I will poeticize it a little bit more, maybe add a little bit more in the way of imagery. Now, my view was that Homer's good enough to speak for himself, and therefore I did try to translate to keep it almost as literal as possible, to bring out those qualities which Matthew Arnold saw of rapidity, of clarity, and I hope occasionally of nobility, and to really let Homer speak for himself, and also to keep those aspects which are inextricably part of the the heroic world, and if an action recurs, to use exactly the same words, when epithets are used, to try and use the same words at each point. And I think that's what you do with translation. You set out your stall, and then you try to keep it consistent. And the biggest problem was to try and, having decided that, to let Homer speak for himself, was to keep the register as consistent as possible throughout the whole poem. Because always at the back of one's mind is the fact that there is no easy-to-hand epic diction available in English. It was all right if you were Milton. You manufacture your own. But we have no register, no mode of doing that, and therefore you have to choose something which does not lurch into colloquialism on the one hand, nor brings in alien imagery on the other hand.